Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gamers Up Plus gaming news, facts, and live developer sessions. And that's what we're doing today. Welcome back, everybody. I am Bryce T.
And I am Henry Connor.
And we are Gamers Up Plus. Welcome back to another great episode of the cast. Just a short notice. Sandy from last episode left us a comment and said that she was really offended by some of the things that we said. So we're going to keep it clean this episode. We're going to make sure nothing is going to go across the border. I'm really sorry. We're really sorry.
Yeah, so sorry. We didn't know that you knew anyone from any of those countries.
Yeah, so we don't want to really get back into that, but we got a special guest today. That's the word of the week, huh?
So I'll talk a little bit about sort of what our main focus for this episode is. So everyone knows this. It's been all over the news, been all over the Nintendo Switch e-boards. The new Speedways game is coming out, right? Woo! Speedways is one of the most, commercially successful, popular games we have out there. And then Speedways Genesis promises to be the next latest and greatest blast in this story time of a series. So this new one, like many others, it's set in the year of 2034. And as we all know, the background of the Speedways, the government has been taken over by a mysterious group of hackers who call themselves the Insane Aliens. And they hacked into the White House, and they deleted all of the laws from the government database. So there are no laws anymore, and you're living in this sort of post-law, post-apocalyptic American world.
Not quite cyberpunk, almost dystopian.
Exactly. And in this new society that's formed, they've made cars and motorcycles and four-wheelers are they're the new form of money, and basically winning races is like your bank account. And so in order to survive in these days, you got to drive around to different cities and then challenge people to win races. Now, the latest installment traces the protagonist, Dave Chappelle, no relation to the comedian. It's just a coincidence. As he tries to uncover the dark past behind this mysterious hacker group and find out what really caused the downturn so many years ago. Now, with us today, we have the lead developer for Speedways Genesis, Douglas French. Can you say hi to everyone, Douglas?
Hello. Thank you for having me, Bryce and Henry. It's a pleasure.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for showing up. We got a lot of questions today.
Most of the people we ask just don't even show up, so.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. We have a nice little lineup today. Lots of questions. We're going to the hard-hitting questions, just trying to figure out what's different about the new game than the previous installments. What have you added, taken out? We're taking it back at everything that you've done so far,
right,
Douglas. So it's awesome. What I've seen of it is awesome.
Oh, yes, definitely. We are definitely utilizing the next generation of car. All cars, they look much better. They race much faster. It's almost too much for the human eye to keep up, which is why they have implemented the VR edition. That'll be DLC that's twice as much as the regular Speedways. But don't worry, because this is Speedways Genesis. This is the future.
So why is it twice as much? That's been a point of it's been I've seen on a few headlines. Twice as much VR. If you want the full, you're advertising it as the full experience. Although it is $200 just for the game, for the VR. So what does the VR edition add that the original $100 game doesn't bring to the table already that we haven't seen in the Speedways franchise?
Well, Bryce, thank you for the question. The VR DLC, the reason why it's so much is inflation.
Well, thanks for clearing that up for us. Yeah, we did notice that the game seems to be exactly the same price no matter which currency is being used. You know, this game it's 200 yen in Japan, it's $200 in the United States, it's 200 fake dollars in Canada.
Yeah, we're really proud of that development.
Yeah, I thought that was a really interesting, bold move to go towards uniformity
bold.
from all the developers here.
Very
Well, it
bold.
mirrors the uniformity of the cars being currency. Cars cost the same in all countries, so we thought we'd reflect that with the game.
That is a very good point.
That is true.
Very good. Although I have to say, people have been begging me on the forums to ask you this. I'm getting messages out the
Oh, I already know
door
what
right
you're gonna
now.
ask.
Then what is it? What's the answer?
Are we finally getting parachutes? People argue all the time, are
That's it.
parachutes a form of car? And I have to say, you'll just have to wait for the game to come out to see if we answer that question.
I mean, but they're clearly a form of cars, right? It's basically cars for the air.
It's true.
It depends on which country you're from.
Well, we're from Scotland, so
Yeah.
we're from Scotland.
Then maybe
Mhm.
in your country the game just might have parachutes.
Oh,
So there's
there's
differences?
a sort of like regionalization going on in the game in different releases.
Yeah, sort of like a northern, eastern hemisphere type of thing.
What about the looping stages? The stages that are just one small circle you keep looping around. People complained about it. Last game, Speedways, Freeways had a lot of controversy surrounding it because you advertised over 500 stages, but 450 of the stages were just little circles and slightly altered ovals that just looped around like it's baby Mario Kart. Are those making a return? Are those inflating the numbers this time around? You know, I just want to know. What about that? I haven't
Well,
exactly
with
played the
freeways,
game
we really
yet.
wanted to like give players the option. Freeways means you got a lot of things to go on. Genesis, we're going back to the roots. We're going to be limiting, but we're going to be pouring all our resources into just dazzling ovals.
Okay.
Awesome. So I got a bit of a question.
Yes.
I know this is maybe a cop-out, a bit of a fan question. Maybe I shouldn't bring it up this early, but I got it because the fans have been asking me, and honestly, I've been asking me too. So everyone knows, way back in Speedways 6, Deathbringer, there was the most popular protagonist in basically the entire Speedway series. They're still posting, 3 to 4 pornography pictures of her every day. I've noticed.
Noticed as
Cindy
well.
Stormbringer. Cindy Stormbringer.
Cindy.
She was such a lovable character. Her and her little dog, Barkus, and they would just ride around on her motorcycle, cutting grass, doing just great, nice things for people. She was basically, you could say, the perfect neighbor, except she had to be living in this post-apocalyptic world. So, and not just that, she had to be winning races. She had to be killing looters. It was really just,
Yeah.
of course, taking care of Barkus.
Yeah, her silent motorcycle was really courteous to the rest of the neighbors. It was such a genius revolution of technology.
Absolutely. And so my question is, well, we all know the bit of a cliffhanger that Deathbringer ended on. Cindy was finally at the West Side Bank, about to open the vault and see the truth about her mother and father, and then she got captured, and then the game just kind of ended. And the fans have really been wanting to know, is it possible that we're going to see Cindy make a comeback in this new installment?
Because this was 4 games ago. This is currently the what is it, 11th game in the series?
This
Right
would
now?
be the if you count the spin-offs, it would be the 12th. But yes, it would be the 10th
Oh,
in the
okay.
main
Okay.
series.
Yeah, I don't really count the PS
So-
Vita game.
Oh,
personally.
yeah.
It's
No.
been a while. We haven't seen Cindy in a bit. But like Henry said, there's a bunch of cultive little fans online little slimy fans
And they
online
just
that have been.
email me every day, and they throw rocks at my window, and it's getting out of control.
So what are you gonna do about this? Are you bringing Sin back, or are you just gonna keep Barkus at the bank?
Well, the storyline for Barkus was an interesting one. Cindy, even though she was a fan character, fan favorite, we are still developing what story to give to her. Now, if you look at the 4th game in the entry, Speedways, Gator Lake, that's where you will find that if you add the numbers 4 and 6, it gets 10. So maybe give a little peek at some of the hints we've dropped and see what might come of the Barkus storyline.
Wow.
Interesting. Well, I gotta say that
is
sounds
huge.
like pretty exciting news.
That
I
is
didn't notice
huge.
that little mathematical hint you put in there.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like you got some real PhDs working at the studio.
Myself is not one of them, but yeah, we got a couple diplomas
Oh,
around.
we know. We know. We've heard. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's people. We are in internet forums. We talk in internet forums about casual game. We know the jargon, casual game jargon forums. So we've heard everything
We've
about
seen the
you and
leaked
back.
sprites.
Yeah, we have. We've seen. I've been keeping up with this game since the last game. That's how excited I am.
Now, I would like to remind you that I only agreed if you didn't mention the controversy, so it seems like we're skirting around the topic, but just a reminder.
I'm sorry.
You're right. Sorry, we'll cut that part out
Of course,
in the final one.
Cut it out.
We'll cut that part out.
Cut it out. Jesus.
So another big thing about this game
Yes.
is that people have noticed the graphics really took a bump up. The cars are insane. Basically, in fact, people have been asking if you just filmed car videos in real life and just played them basically straight to the PS5. What do you have to say to that accusation?
Now, the problem that we've had with previous games of filming cars directly is injuries. People are not good cars, so it's hard to cast. But good question, Henry. Thank you for the question. We've utilized a lot of technology to really make the cars good in here. All types of cars.
How many cars?
Is it true that in this game, if you
in this game?
leave your car running in your garage for too long, you can get carbon monoxide poisoning? I know the fans have been asking for that one, and we've been kind of getting little wishy-washy responses, right? They said it was going to be out for Speedways 8. It wasn't. Kind of silent about Speedways 9, and then there were some hints about Speedways 10. They actually, again, they put it in the PS Vita game. I'm not really counting that.
Right.
Can you really call that a game?
Right. That was more of a test of programming rather than a game in and of itself. So you have
All you
to
could do
understand.
was spin the wheels around with the buttons. The car didn't even move.
It was more for dynamic atmosphere, like the carbon monoxide poisoning. But we're looking into it. It seems that the PS Vita was able to do that, but not actual car. So we're looking into it. We might have some things to reveal soon.
Well, I hope we all get poisoned. Huh? That's what we've been saying for years now.
Yep. Classic in joke.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy to see the fans just going out in full force, making a bunch of videos online, show off my pimped car in Speedways mod. Does this one have mod support again, as has been set up by the previous experiences we've had so far?
Now, with the VR, mod support is going to be a little bit difficult. We might have to deal with just pure admin support.
Okay. Like commands and command blocks?
Like command
Absolutely.
prompts?
Okay.
I see.
Okay.
Like physical blocks.
That's yeah, alright. That's okay. I don't know about the mod. Let's have the modding, but that sounds like it'll work.
You have to realize how arduous of a process it is. This is a whole new generation, and while we are excited, it is still very new territory we're stepping into. We are looking ahead past VR into XR, but that's for the future. We still have to cross this first hurdle before we get there.
That's a long ways away
Oh,
before
yes.
XR comes into the consumer basis, but but do you at least, if there's no mod support, do you at least have the Speedways app? People have been doing their daily rewards on it. Is it going to transfer over to help with this game for the little mini races? Are those back? People have been asking all about the Speedways app support.
I'm really hoping the app is worth it. Basically, every time I try to call my dad, I just get blown up with ads for friendlies. It's been a little annoying. I can't talk to my dad anymore. I have to text him, and even then, at my text, it puts on a little signature. It says, come to Applebee's, come to Arby's, one of those 2 or 3 usually. But I've been really hoping that it's worth it in the end, racking up those points.
So what is it? What is it back or? Sorry to be blunt, but fans want to know.
I think I've been a little vague this far. I think that Bryce and Henry, you guys have humored me enough. I think that sure, I could confirm here that we will not be releasing a new app, but we will be including some updates. Applebee's was just the first step. Checkers, that's where it's at. Expect more sponsorships. That'll just make for even better racing and even better friendlies.
That is
awesome.
Huge
Absolutely.
headliner, huge news.
Yeah, wow.
You're welcome.
And you heard it here first. Gamers Up Plus. Speaking of which, we're gonna go to our little segment we'd like to do with our guests. Sing that out. Let's get to the rules. Remind us, as always, Henry, how we do this segment.
All right. So in Sing That Out, we're going to think of a classic game song. We're going to sing it out, and we're going to try to have Douglas here take a little guess as to which song we're doing. And then
That's right.
if he's right, we got to give him $1.
And we
But
do
if
it
he's
that-
wrong, he has to post on his personal Facebook page. He has to post whatever picture we tell him to.
Oh.
That's true. Those are the rules.
Those are the rules. Everyone, it's in your contract. You signed it
Yep.
when you came on.
Yeah, just like we said we wouldn't talk about things that we're not talking about them, so you have to do this. You have to do this. We're gonna start singing, and we, as always, for this week's special, we're doing the alternating notes special, where I get one note, and then Henry gets another, and you have to guess off of all the notes. And you get one guess, and if you guess again, then every additional guess is another picture that we put on your Facebook. So, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm familiar with this game show.
Start the countdown music. All right, let's go. All right, what is your guess?
Okay, I feel like you're going a little bit easy on me for the first one, which I honestly appreciate, guys. But come on, how would I not recognize it from my own personal project from years ago? Speed Wars. I was a fan of the series too.
You got it.
Absolutely.
You got it.
I mean, was there ever any doubt?
We just kind of threw that in as a little reference, We love the old personal little solo stuff, and we thought maybe you would.
We were just kind of wondering if the fans would get that one.
Yeah,
Mostly.
it's
All right, this next one, I'll give a beat, and then Bryce here will do the melody on top of it. All right.
Now, with this one, I have to say,
It's a
I
little
always
tougher,
do love your performances when you drop down the beats in these
Thank you.
segments, Henry. But
having
for
a
this
fan
one-
on is nice. We're fans of each other. It's
yeah,
back
of course,
and forth.
Of course. It's a little difficult. It feels like it would be a bit more from modern, but then again, you said classics, so it might be from the Sega 64 era.
Ooh,
Which one?
you're getting close. You're getting close.
Warmer.
Robot Boys? No. That's not a guess. I'm talking to myself. Okay. I think The Lamb. Final answer.
It was Robot Boys.
Robot Boys.
Robot Boys. You were so
thought it
close.
was Robot Boys.
They do
Here.
sound similar, you know. They're kind of close. It's
Yeah,
like
Because-
box.
because you were so close, and because I admit, it's pretty close. It's a little ambiguous. We won't make you post too crazy of a picture. I was gonna tell you to just post a picture of I was gonna send you some nudes and have you post those, but instead I'm gonna send you this picture, absolutely hilarious picture of this crazy looking dog.
Show it on
here,
this.
let me,
We'll show it on the visual pod
yeah.
screen.
Is it a Barkus fan art?
All right, yeah, I just sent it. No, it's not
no, it's
Barkus,
not.
unfortunately.
Oh,
That'd be
okay.
good, but I really think, this one, maybe not even a punishment at all. I'm sure all your friends and family are going to get a kick out of this one. I mean, you can see that smile. He's just absolutely crazy looking dog.
Oh, I love
It's
this
good.
dog. Wow, this is actually pretty good. Thank you.
You're well. Yep,
Also,
Van-
with the other pictures, I mean, I don't have to post it, but I wouldn't mind receiving those.
thank you, Douglas.
Yeah, we got to keep a little bit of
Yeah.
a store. So maybe check, next week we got some guests. Maybe check their Facebook, see what's going on.
Okay.
It'll all be posted eventually.
All right. Well,
we all know
was
that
the-
we all know that
the-
Bryce is kind of
it was
a
the
picture
s-
master here. He's always
the-
searching
oh,
for new
yes.
pictures for
Was this-
Name That Song.
That was the segment, and this is just a reminder of the Up Plus store. You can get 15% off. We have a new code each podcast that has 100 uses. People who have been scrubbing the podcast, if you're listening right now, oh, you looking for the coupon code? Guess who's getting the coupon code? What is it? Reveal it. Douglas, we sent it to you.
Right. Coupon code 2034. Easy to remember because it's the year.
2034.
2034, the
reference to
year of
Speedways.
Speedway's genesis.
Yep.
So there's only 100 usages. Again, if you scrub the podcast, fuck yourself. This is for only the true fans of the podcast. We have new merchandise and new t-shirts that we've been uploading every day. So thank you so much for the support, everybody. We're gonna do a quick ad read. Henry's gonna do a quick ad.
All right. Yeah.
We'll be right, and
A
we'll
little
be right
quick ad
back.
read.
And we'll be right back.
So, everyone knows that PetSmart has the best cats, and you know what? Forget the read. I'm just gonna speak from the heart about this one. I've been to lots of PetSmarts in my day, and every time I go there, I am awestruck at the kindness and the caring of the pets and the employees. They cut your dog's hair for free there. You can get your pet food for free. And you know what? You know what's the tipper on the icing? Think about the name PetSmart. You might be thinking, yeah, it's the store for your smart pets. But did you ever think that it is a pet mart? A pet market? It's this little attention to detail that PetSmart will hide in plain sight. These little moments of just raw, unbridled love that PetSmart sows into every can of food, every toy, and every furry friend on the shelf. I ask you, not as an advertiser, but as a human being, go to PetSmart and buy every dog they have, because they deserve it, and so do you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Henry. And thank you to PetSmart
Thank
for
you to
being our
PetSmart for that
sponsor for
sponsor.
this episode.
I want to make it clear, just so I'm not lying, that the pretending it was not a read, that was part of the ad. I was in fact reading from my note card.
Correct.
They said I had to read it word for word, so I had to say that. But I just want to be clear afterwards that all of that was actually pre-recorded 5 months ago. I was just playing the clip.
Right.
Anyways, now we're moving on to the next segment. This one we don't really have a name for yet. We put up a poll on the Facebook
Yeah.
page. Nobody's voting on it,
But you all know what it is.
but
Yeah.
everyone knows what it is. Now we're just gonna kind of lay off a Douglas for a bit, lay off a Frenchie. we're just going to kick back and we're going to talk about general gaming news. You know, not necessarily about Speedways. We're just going to talk about the new gaming developments, the new gaming stuff, and just see what an insider on the industry has to say.
Developers session and developers can give their own perspective on the gaming sphere today. So let's get started.
Yeah, I got an article I'm pulling up from the New York Times here. So Mario, the games have always had a crazy cast of characters. They got the green guy. There's Mario. There's his brother, the other green one.
The redhead.
There's the two girls. The monkey. There are just lots of them, and they're adding a new character. They've finally announced straight from Japan. They're adding a new character to the Mario series, and the fans they don't really know what to think about this one. Because traditionally, all the characters, they're about the same size. They're all kind of, cute and friendly. But this new character, his name is Monster Rex. And he's about 12 stories tall. And he just, in the first game, he instantly crushed Princess Peach. And she's out of the game now. She's officially off. They deleted her wiki page, basically. And so people don't really know what to think about this Monster Rex guy. Because he's adding a bit of excitement to the long stagnating Mario franchise, but at the same time, it can be said that he might be switching things up a little too much. Douglas, I'm curious what you have to say about this.
Right, this is actually news to me. I have not heard of this, but from at least this little synopsis, I do like what I hear. As you said, all the characters are the same size. I think it's about time that imagine the amiibos, like a life-size Rex. If you're tiny and that's a big, and you shrink it, it's going to be just a thing you can hug. I think that's probably why they're having this kind of development now. I think they want to have like toys that are actually big enough to be enjoyable. Because I mean, come on, those amiibos, they're just they can just barely fit in your pocket. What's the fun in that?
Absolutely. That's funny. I think this marks a turn in Nintendo's strategy towards more adult-themed content.
Right.
It's sort of like when McDonald's added the cafe, but now they're doing it basically that in the video game version. Because with that horrifically gory murder scene from Monster Rex at the start of the new Mario Party, it was actually rated R. They rated it according to the movie ratings because it was so bad. And now actually it's illegal for children to play the new Mario Party now. So it's only adults. And because of that, they're able to add lots of crazy, lots of sex, lots of stuff that only adults like.
Right.
We've just been waiting for it all to come at us after that brutal scene.
Absolutely.
Also, Douglas, it's funny that you say that about the merchandising for toys and stuff. People have been talking about that all over the web, on the twit, about how are they just making another for toys? And there's been a few leaks on Fakatsu, the gaming store in Japan, has shown people ads in some of their stores that look like they have a shadow that could be Rex on the shadow. And it seems that maybe this is just a whole big marketing ploy for everyone to purchase the new Rex, the new Master Rex toy. So that is awesome that you said that. The internet is going to be on your side after this one. It's just a plus one for the Speedways fandom. This is why we love you. This is why we love your games. I've been playing them this whole last summer. Love them. Just got into it.
I basically grew up on Speedways.
You're lucky bastard. I wish I could have grown up on back in when it was still in the 8-bit era of video gaming history. I would have loved to be in my house back then and just playing on my NES Speedways 2 for the Century is what the name of the game. And that's one of Henry's favorites, and he played it when it came out. Believe it or not.
It's a great honor I bear to this day.
That was back when the team of Speedways was just you and your little dog Marcus, which is where came from for Cindy's story. So
Of course.
we appreciate Speedways as a franchise, you as a developer. This is our response. This is our love letter to you.
Mm-hmm.
This episode is the community's love letter to you as
Our ode to grace,
artist,
you could say.
as an artist, creator, and person. Thank you,
sir.
Well, thank you for constructing such a good podcast. At first, when I heard that I was invited on, I thought, who is this? But then I actually listened, and I was like, oh, sure. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Those are very
Thanks. That means a
nice.
lot to us.
So we're bringing it back to the next segment. Jokes
Extreme.
and we're starting off strong with this one. How many eggshells does it take to step on to change the light bulb? I can't change the light bulb because I'm stepping on all of the eggshells and it's hurting my feet.
That's good. I actually didn't see that end coming. I thought it was going to be something totally different.
Well, you got anything, Henry? Jokes extreme?
Yeah, I think I got something in the joke jar. Let's see. What do you say when the gamer switches up all the keys on his keyboard?
What do you say?
Wait, yeah, what do you say?
You say, "Well, I'll bet that's confusing."
Oh yeah.
Yes. These are pretty good, you guys.
My controller jiggled thinking about that one. It's rumbled. Rumble mode is on for that joke.
Yeah,
Mhm.
HD.
What do you got? Anything for us, Douglas? Do you have anything for us?
I mean, honestly, I forgot that this segment was even a thing. So let me just tell you something that my daughter once brought up to me. Daughter of 17.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. She.
That's the best age
so-
for jokes.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's not like we have a story segment later or anything. It's fine. It's fucking whatever. Just do it.
Oh.
Just do it. No,
Dude.
it's fine.
No, just do it.
Yeah,
Just do
just do it. Okay.
Yeah, just go.
Just do it.
So-
Fucking do it.
So what do you call the alien that crosses the road?
What do you call it?
Well, I don't know.
Call it how does she say it? Oh god, I'm so bad at these. I'm sorry.
So take your time.
No. Okay, yeah. Maybe just cut this out. I don't know if it's too big of a pause.
No, it's fine.
Okay, wait here. Well, we could
dog.
pretend like you cut out, and then
Yeah.
we heard the joke. Here, we'll dub it in later.
Right,
How's that?
right.
And then so we'll just laugh
We'll-
now, and then we'll dub it in later.
Here we
Right.
go.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, she sure is the funny one that Charlotte.
Oh,
does.
that's hilarious. I can't.
Sure.
I did not see that coming.
Talk
Yeah.
about Charlotte's Web.
I see what she did there.
So we're have some bad news, everyone.
We
have
doing this
some
this
bad-
early?
Yeah, we have to.
Okay.
We have to say it.
Yeah.
Juni
I wasn't sure if we should wait till the end, but I guess we could say it now. Yeah.
Junito Maho has died. Classics game developer
Mm-hmm.
has passed away today, and he had a hand in making the concept art for Billy World Extreme.
He had a hand in Billy World Extreme.
He did have
He had a hand in
Billy World Nightmare Land.
Billy World Nightmare Land,
Oh, man.
Billy World Crazy Castle.
Yeah, honestly, my favorite was Billy World Under the Clams. That was such an out of the left field.
Under the
And
Clams
he
was a
did-
good one. That was a bit of a collab. So he didn't quite work on that one exclusively, but I
Yeah.
believe I do
Yes.
think it was some of his best work in the
He
Absolutely.
in
did some of
levels
the
that he
post concept art for that
the
one.
Haunted Clam Factory. That
Yeah.
I mean, I still have
Oh,
dreams
yeah.
about that to this day.
And it is a shame, as for all of the Billy World fans, world renowned franchise of loved by many, and we just want to have a moment of silence on the podcast.
Mhm.
10 seconds.
All right, that was our 10 seconds of silence.
was our-
Thanks so much. That was a powerful moment.
And just keep
Yeah.
Billy on, young Junito.
Listen, there's a quote from an interview from Junito back in I think it was 1998. This was back when we were just sort of starting to work out what Gamers Up Plus would really look like. But there was he was being interviewed by the Washington Post, and then they asked him, Junito, now that the Billy World franchise is sort of dying down, what do you have to say to all these people who are saddened that you're moving on to other projects and that Billy World seems to be kind of at a dead end? And you know what he said? He said, Billy World is only in the video games if you make it. If you want it to be, your world is Billy World, and you're Billy. Amen. Billy up.
All right, just had to get that out of the way. Now we can get back to talking about our normal goofy. We're normally, goofy and funny. But sorry, we just had to. Billy World is dead. So the creator's fucking dead.
So Douglas.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you now, what games are you looking forward to? I mean, we've talked about Billy World, we've talked about all these games that we're talking about, but which sort of games are on the horizon that you're looking forward to as a gamer yourself?
Oh man, honestly, I can't wait for that new Pikmin game, Pick Up Men, where it's a dating thing for the little plants. Yeah,
I saw that one.
Oh, I love me those dating games. I can't wait to date those little colorful bulbs.
Careful, don't get addicted to dating games. You hear about all the articles about people addicting to dating games and they can't even date anybody anymore.
Right.
They're just dating the dating games.
I need to administer self-control as much as possible. I've really, honestly, had just such an urge to make a Speedways dating way. But
oh my god, would Cindy be in that?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
I don't know. It might have to be the next project if I could get some rights from the rest of the company. But
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, those dating games are can be an issue. I back in my youth, I played one too many dating games, and now I can only talk to Japanese women.
It's a shame.
Women who speak in English, I'm afraid of them.
It's a true shame because so many people that you've met have been other nationalities or
exactly.
Ethnicities, and they do speak Japanese, and you can converse with them completely, but you can't even get past
I just
small
freeze
talk.
up.
It's like the Indian man from Big Bang Theory. Can't talk to girls, and he's so smart, so he can't talk to girls, and he's a gamer. So it's just like that because if
that classic Shakespearean tragedy at play.
Yep.
It's depressing, but the games are too good.
They're
the
too
games
good.
Are just too good. I've played a dating game. I've played dating games before, and they're so good. And I've played one.
Absolutely.
Taco Bell Worker. I'm sure you guys are familiar. Was the classic one that got a bunch of people into dating games in their childhood. You go up into the Taco Bell drive-through. It had terrible little animations and little tweeny little Adobe Flash bullshit. But man, the honkers on that Taco Bell Workers was working up a storm in my mind of all the things that I got to do to her in the game.
Unparalleled.
Now, Henry, I don't know if you noticed this, but it seems to me that Bryce might just be reading off the wiki. Taco Bell Babies is just a well-known game. Have you actually played dating, Bryce?
I mean, I love them. There's you can have sex with people, right?
I mean,
actually, in the original Taco Bell one, there's a lot of debate as to whether the actions there really count as sex or not, because
I know
they tend to kind of go off in very strange directions. A lot of people thought that the toe chopping scenes were a little much, even if they were technically labeled as sex scenes.
Right.
In the game files. Everything it was a little unusual there. It brought a lot of kids into the strange dark world of this sort of sexual murder play. And so there's a lot of debate among professionals as to whether that game really counts as having sex scenes or not, because they were all just so kind of, gory and abstract.
Well, Jesus, I didn't know that that's what happens in those games. I was just trying to be cool in front of you guys, and
this is more in the latter half. So you might have seen, the trailer was extremely misleading.
Well, I looked up Taco Bell girl nude on Google and honked it, and I thought that would be the same thing, but
well, yeah, something you have to keep in mind is that within the files there's a whole category for the sex, but none of those was included in the game, so people could dig those up and post them. But
so it's
absolutely
just chopping the toes off of the taco girl?
You might also be thinking of the later, much more family friendly installment, Taco Bell Tortures.
Right.
What?
Have you not?
I haven't heard of this at all.
Oh man.
Oh well, you should just stop this podcast right now. Drop those pants and boot it up.
I don't know the dating gaming scene. I had no clue that this was a thing.
Yeah, we all have our specialties.
Yep.
You don't know much about dating games, whereas I'm an expert. I don't know much about tabletop simulations, and that's basically your lifestyle.
I can't get off the simulation games. That new one that came out, Soup Simulator. Oh man, let me tell you, I got a cup of minestrone after playing that thing for a hot minute. That one's, I don't care if it's 8-bit graphics and came out in the current year, it still looks good, and the soup looks better than the soup looks in the new Final Fantasies game. It looks delicious, and I can spend my real life dollars on ingredients in the game.
I'm still not sure how Soup Simulator was able to get such good graphics. It's remarkable.
On an NES,
it
right?
seemed like they had such futuristic technology, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's actually some worries that they that they got some of this information working with the Russian government as to these new graphical technologies.
Oh, of course.
So they've halted physical sales of the games, but you can still get it on Steam, as Steam operates in the lawless territory of Papua New Guinea.
Those Russians and their soup.
That's all bullshit, by the way. None of that is real. It's just they took it down because too many people were buying the game, and that's it. Okay?
Why'd they take it down if too many people were buying it?
Well, I love it, so shut up. I love it, and it's good. I don't care if they if the Russians and they're hacking with the Russians for the game. I don't care. Okay? Jesus.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair standpoint.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
So, have you guys heard about the new Pringles?
No.
Wendy's flavored Pringles?
No, what does this have to do with gaming? How are they connected?
Oh, come on. You can't say every gamer in their time
Wendy's
doesn't pop open some Pringles, doesn't head over to Wendy's. They finally did a collab.
The promos, they've been doing the gaming code promos, put it in the game, put it in the game promo. You haven't seen those? I know about that at least.
We might have to take advantage of this with Speedways Genesis 2024.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see that. But yeah, when Wendy's and Pringles teamed up to create the burnt pickles flavor.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone's been asking for it. Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it was real when I saw it on the shelves. I had to snatch one up.
I've been taking my juiced cukes, aka pickles, and burning them myself, if I do say so, putting on the Pringle. So I think that'll just take us steps removed from the whole process. And I'm very excited to try these Pringles. Have you had a chance to try the Pringles?
I have a tube sitting with me right here. I haven't opened it yet. To be honest, I'm a little scared too. I'm a little afraid that once I have these, all the other food won't taste the same anymore.
Right.
Can we have a live open?
Oh.
All right. I think we can. Give me one moment.
While
he's
he's
gonna
getting
be a
that,
first.
I will say the same thing happened to me with the Pringles Febreze flavor. Now,
I remember those.
I
Yeah,
got
those were
addicted
fucking
to those. I
disgusting.
couldn't stop.
You liked those ones?
They smelled so good.
They did smell good, but they tasted like
What can I
soap
say?
and pepper. It's this.
You
Those
can't,
are
you can't tell me you
disgusting.
didn't eat some soap when you were young because you thought it looks like candy.
I was more of a liquid soap guy.
I just kind of grew up on that taste, and so it just reminded me of like childhood.
Yeah,
Anyways, let's open
That's-
up the
that's understandable.
let's open up the Wendy's Pringles. Here we go. Take a little taste test.
How is it?
Oh my God.
It,
Absolutely disgusting.
what?
That's revolting.
What does it taste like?
You know what it tastes like?
No? What
It
does
tastes
it
like fucking carrots and vegetables. It tastes like my
Oh,
mom made
jeez.
made a vegetables dinner
That is disgusting.
and made me eat broccoli all day.
Cauliflower vomit flavored. They should call it.
I have to
Absolutely.
assume it's like
Really
when you
disappointing.
have broccoli in a vegetable soup and then it soaks it all up. That kind of just that flavor.
Sog.
Oh, that's the double vegetable. It's a killer.
That is
Never double
disgusting.
vegetables.
That is disgusting. I'm sorry you had to go through that, especially on air. I mean, after the Pringles Febreze flavor, I never thought that there would be a worse one, even if you guys like it. But I don't even know if I want to try these ones even more. Seems disgusting.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
the
it might
way you
not
were
be worth
hyping
it.
it up, I thought I was gonna try it, but maybe I'll just stick to my Febreze Pringles.
Yeah, I was really hoping, but looks like they really blew it on this one.
Wow, shame.
Well,
Looks like I'm not going to Wendy's again.
that's terrible. Because I like their dollar and a half chicken deal they have right now. It's $1.50 and they give you a whole chicken breaded and crumbed through the window.
like
That's been getting
you're talking about
me,
the one where it's still alive as like a pet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dollar and a
I've heard
half.
and bread.
$1.50 bak cash is the slogan.
Yeah,
and
so
To do it yourself.
yeah,
yeah, and they give it to you. It's kind of disgusting because it's live, but they put the crumbs on it already. It's the feathers are all off and the crumbs are all on, and it's just this meaty, just gross, fleshy chicken with bread and crumbs on it, and they're $1.50. This is because of the new regulations of chicken production. You can't have more than 50% chicken in your chicken nuggets. So they had their chicken farms outsourced to the locations around the most populated Wendy's areas to bring the chickens, and they're doing this promotion. And I love it. I've gotten it several times. You just can eat it in the car. You don't even need to cook it. It's like a sushi. It's kind of like sushi.
Oh, you do? For
Yeah.
a moment, I was afraid that you would not be into it, but if you like the new chicken
I do
deal,
like it.
then yeah, maybe you might be interested in the dating game,
Yeah.
the dating.
Really?
Absolutely.
Is that in
It's,
the
I mean,
dating?
it's basically one-to-one of an experience, just in a virtual.
Well, I think I might finally have to take the plunge. I wish I got into them. And I'm sorry, guys, that I lied about it earlier in the podcast, especially in front of one of my idols and speed fanatics. I'm very sorry, guys.
I mean, we all make mistakes, but you should be.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right.
Wow.
We're sort of getting to the close of the episode. I think we just have a couple more questions for Douglas, and
Yes.
and then we should probably wrap it up.
Yep. Thanks so much for being on again, Douglas French, developer of Speedways.
Mhm.
Speedways Genesis coming out on the PS5 this year.
PS6
Super
also.
So excited.
super six-sided. We're six-sided,
Ah.
like a six-sided die, and
Yeah.
roll it. And I'm doing a challenge because the six-sided promotion. I roll a die, and you have to play that game in the Speedways franchise. And thank you for coming on, and we're gonna have a few more questions for you.
Yeah, for this last segment, we like to call it "What's Next, Buddy?" And we kind of talk about not necessarily what's going on with the upcoming game or even the game after that, but what sort of is in the play in the future of both yourself and of the Speedways series. So one thing that we've been hearing a lot is that there's potential for a Speedways movie series starring
Of course, yes.
starring
Heard
Pee Wee
about that.
Herman from the TV show as Dave Chappelle.
Right.
Right.
Yes. He. We just really thought. In fact, if you read the most recent report that was sent out, we do have Pee Wee contributing his voice to the protagonist for this game that's coming up, Speedways Genesis, for Dave Chappelle. So that was exciting. That was a really exciting development. But
wow.
whether he'd be going back to his physical acting days now, that's something that we still got to convince him on. So that is something we have talked about. Those rumors are, in some way, correct, but it's up to Pee Wee whether the contract allows it.
Oh, that's really
wow.
exciting. So
Wow.
you know what to do, guys.
Absolutely.
Find his email, find his house, find
him
his
up.
parents. Just bug him
Barge
constantly.
in.
Just be so annoying until he signs on this movie.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
This is a
Annoy the shit
StarCast
out of him.
the role of a lifetime that we're
We
talking
know you can
about
do
here.
it, Gamers Up Plus Army. We know
That's
you
a-
could just give it all you have.
Yes.
Just send him as many messages, order pizzas to his house, do whatever it takes.
We've done a lot of petitions in the past, and we want to bring up some of the classics that we've done to show that we can do it for the movement. For those of you that are new, Carrie Underwood's Carrie Underland theme park. We got that baby demolished before it even began. Fucking stupid idea. Goddamn idiot Carrie Underwood is on Twitter talking about how she does a bunch of stupid things. Like, she says that Minecraft is bad and it sucks. So we got it shut down. That was our petition that we started.
We did that.
Gamers Up Plus patented this little stamp on that corner of that adventure that we did.
That was the largest, most signed petition in Change.org history.
I remember that.
It is still in this day. I think about how much we've terrorized Carrie, and I smile. As she,
What an
as
evil,
I think
awful woman.
she should never have said that about Minecraft. And no matter how many times she takes it back, says I'm sorry, I was joking. That wasn't my account. Fuck you, Carrie. Neverland. More like Neverland. What is another? What are our other? I forgot about our other petitions.
We've had plenty of petitions. Nothing quite blew up as much as the Underland one. We had a petition. We heard that Neil Armstrong really wanted to go back to the moon.
Right.
And so we got that petition. They sent him kind of halfway there. He hit a couple asteroids and went home. But I think it was overall a success. Neil got what he
forgot
really
about
deserved
that.
out of that one.
Yeah, Neil, great guy. We worked with him through that. Great dude.
We made.
Great
We
dude.
petitioned Skype to get a dark theme.
I don't know if I remember that one.
That was way back in the day.
Did we
that was
get
way
it?
back in the day.
Was I on team? Was I on team? Was I on
Yeah.
team when that happened?
You might have been. This might have been when it was just me and Craig.
I thought we said we wouldn't talk about that again. I don't even remember. You never even told me that this happened. I've been asking for that for years.
Well, it's kind of a secret. It's kind of a secret developer option. So I didn't really want to tell everyone if Bill didn't want people to know yet.
Okay. Well,
Now,
We'll cut that. We'll cut that
well,
part out.
we'll just cut the whole petitions part out. Just cut
Yeah.
the whole thing out, because then I'll listen back to the podcast and think about it. Just cut the whole segment out.
We'll do that. We'll get Craig to do that in the editing.
Well, why get fucking Craig to do it? Craig
That's
did
his
the
job.
Well, I know it's his fucking job. I can do it too. You know that, right? That I know how to
But
do it too.
you said you didn't want to listen to it.
Yeah, you're right. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
I was
I'm
so
sorry.
I raised my voice.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry you had to hear that, Douglas.
It's fine. I've kind of not been listening because I've been scrolling through the logs of all your petitions. This is very interesting stuff.
What have you found on the? What have you found on the?
Well,
Sandy, you want to sign?
I don't know if I should be speaking about this one in particular.
Which one is it?
Henry, it seems like Bryce made a fan petition to fire Craig.
Oh shit! Don't.
What?
That was on the
What?
account.
When did you do that?
Here,
I thought
link it to you.
I thought I deleted that account. Is that still up?
That's ridiculous. You know, if Craig could talk right now, Craig's back in the studio there, but I mean, I can see him through the glass. He looks furious, and I know I am.
I'm sorry, Craig.
We're gonna have to have a talk
joke.
about this.
I did it at like 2 a.m. I was drunk. I was on a live stream. There's so much more that you don't know about this. Don't get upset about it on the air.
I think regardless of what the motivations were, I think this is at least you're going to have to do a good 30, 40 laps around the basketball hoop.
All right, fine. That's fine. I'll do it.
At least it's not that big of a basketball hoop. I saw it when I was coming in.
Oh, there's
You did
another
see it?
one. There's another one inside of the gym court.
Yeah, you
It's
didn't see
it's a
the
lot
you didn't
wider.
see the basketball hoop. You might have saw one of our
That's the one we
of our-
let like the kids play on and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Sorry to bring that to light, Bryce.
I don't even I denounce it. I denounce everything about that.
Hey, I believe you.
Me and Craig are chill, right? Right, Craig? Yeah.
He's,
okay.
He's nodding. He's nodding.
He's nodding.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's kind of like mouthing the word. He's like, yeah, that's what he'd be saying
yeah.
if he was here. If he was in
Yeah,
there.
if he was not in
we
the-
lock him in there
yeah.
during the recording. It's actually we've been kind of we've been trying to think of some better options because it's like 120 degrees in there.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
He's
Seems
just
like a
you,
chill guy,
you could just
though.
see he's boiling in there.
Yeah.
He hates
oh,
it.
He's trying to. Oh, he did the double middle fingers to us.
Oh.
He gave us 2 middle fingers, and his hands are sweating.
Hey, no,
We always like to joke that when he does that, they cancel out. It means he loves us.
Can we get the curtains, cover him up so we can't
Yeah.
look at it? Oh,
Yeah, I'm
wanna
seated
see.
pretty close to this.
There they go.
I think having curtains so I don't have to see him in my periphery might be
yeah.
pretty nice.
We-
Yeah, don't look him in the eyes.
Okay.
It's just
Well,
it's just kind of sad.
He's shut off now, so he's got a few layers of curtains behind him if he wants to give us some gestures. Always giving us some funny gestures, huh? Fucking asshole. Anyway,
Are you actually sure that should
what?
could I switch seats with one of you maybe?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just starting to not. I don't know. I'm getting a feeling in my spine. I'm not.
Yeah, no
feeling
problem.
very,
I mean,
safe
Craig
around.
does that. He's just nobody likes him basically, but we got to keep him around.
Holy shit. This is why is your chair wet?
Well,
why is it...
Dude,
that's
Did you
I might
you-
maybe
did you-
soak myself in milk before I go on podcasts, but I usually try to keep that to myself.
really? I'm
Hey, have you not
allergic
tried it?
to milk, right?
Oh,
We like bring that up at the
I
end of each
was not aware of
podcast
this.
yeah, it's
to
in the
remind
logo.
people.
well, I'm blind, so
Well, that's. Do you want to just end it? Do you want to just end it, Henry?
Yeah,
Do you want to just
we're not doing the outro.
let's just fucking end it? Let's just fucking end it.